The YouTube TV Disney deal was finalized after 2 weeks. Who won? Who lost? Why the two have unlimited potential? Plus, the Real Housewives of Bristol, Connecticut. Stephen A. is sniping with ex-ESPNers. Pat McAfee casually tells viewers to F off. Drew Brees makes his debut for Fox, plus much more. It's Marchand and Meterparel. I'm John Meterparel. He's Andrew Marchand. There's a lot to talk about today. Give us your thoughts on all this.
Yeah, so let's just start off with the YouTube ESPN deal and why I think in the headline we have unlimited in there. That's what ESPN calls their new direct-to-consumer app. You'll be able to have access to that within your YouTube TV subscription. So when I look at the future of TV and you look at right now, ESPN has the most dominant sports portfolio in terms of games and rights of anyone. YouTube TV, they're on the way up in terms of subscribers. They're at 10 million. The big boys, Comcast and Spectrum, have 12 million. They also have Sunday Ticket, which I want to get into the importance of that when you put that combined with ESPN continuing on their platform when we get into the questions. But you look at those two, and I think they're better together than apart when you talk about this business specifically. So I thought a deal was always going to get done. I don't really think we needed 2 weeks to accomplish it. I don't know if it really got too much further where they could have been a couple of weeks ago, but that, negotiations get complicated. So, but I do think when you look at it and we talk about the great rebundling, this relationship is going to be at the forefront of that.
Sounds like a 1939 headline. The Great Rebundling. Instead of the Great Depression, we have the Great Rebundling.
It could be.
Yeah, well, Andrew, you had quite a weekend in Cleveland. I heard through my sources, including Page 6, that you were spotted at many hot spots around Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, you know what? We had our annual weekend last year. You were there. You had a BC game in Dallas this year. We're in Cleveland. Saw Shedeur Sanders debut. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well. It was great. Took in a Cavs game. So fun. Cleveland, underrated city to me for a boys' weekend. So we had a good time. Maybe a little bit more at the end. We'll get into a little bit of the trip.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed some of your photos, including you holding a guitar. You look like Jeff Beck.
All right, well, speaking of guitars, we have an event or events. I don't know if it's going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one day. I'm not even sure if Hans Schroeder plays an instrument, but he will be our guest December 11th for Off the Record with me, Andrew Marchand, presented by WSC Sports. So you can sign up in the show notes or your email to come to that. It'll be in the afternoon in Midtown. And then we're presented by WSC Sports. You got to use WSC Sports if you're a league, your team, your network. WSC Sports Digital Asset Management. You got a highlight. You need it a couple weeks ago. Going to bring it back. It takes minutes, and they have you all set. Check them out at WSC-sports.com.
All right, what is up in Cleveland, Ohio, and in your world?
My what's up is Larry Brooks. He is the unbelievable New York Post hockey writer who passed away last week at 75. So a lot of you know Larry Brooks because he was one of the most important, if not the most important, writer in hockey. He was consistently, when they'd have lists, the top 100 most powerful people in hockey, he'd be in there. But that's the thing that I think that for this audience that I just want you to understand about Larry Brooks is he was the best at what he did, and he did it with a passion. And I think what he represented, his career went from just newspapers dominating to the internet and TV and everything. He showed up, number one, but it's not only that. He cared about what he covered to such a degree. And it was an honor to be a colleague of his, to read his stuff. I'm not the biggest hockey guy, but I always read Larry Brooks because you always learn something. He always made it interesting, which I think is kind of the gold standard. If you can take something that not everyone finds interesting and make it interesting for them, Larry Brooks did that. Condolences to his family and all our friends in the media community and the hockey community, because Larry Brooks was and is one of the great ones.
Well said. No question about it. He's certainly a legend, and he'll definitely be missed. My what's up? Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, a great moment in the booth. Alabama-Oklahoma game. Let's hear it.
They go quickly. Matier, nice throw, and another good catch by Carter. Jr. from Kentwood, Louisiana, small town of 2,200. Better known for being the hometown of Britney Spears. Made famous by Mike Patrick and Todd Blackledge many years ago on an ESPN broadcast.
In this booth, believe it or not. It was right before the overtime game against Georgia in 2007. What's Britney doing?
Sean McDonough, one of my favorites. Greg McElroy has done a really nice job kind of integrating into that booth. McDonough worked for years with many different partners, but I love this because this is a moment McDonough brings up on the fly about Mike Patrick that happened 18 years ago in this Alabama same booth, and McElroy had the recognition to know what he was talking about. Mike Patrick went on this tangent with Todd Blackledge. It's a famous YouTube clip about Britney Spears, and Todd Blackledge had no idea what he was talking about. Kind of like you and I on this show on a weekly basis with me. But it was just showed you that McDonough is a well-balanced, well-varied, well-read, well-researched broadcaster and can be sarcastic when needed. And there's levity in the booth. And that's something that I enjoy, and McDonough brings it like no other, and he brings it like no other during a great game, and it was a great game. So it's an enjoyable listen with those guys.
Yeah, very good. McDonough, I think probably the best college football announcer going right now. I'd have to say probably. Then that was good. Good highlight. All right, my what's down, YouTube TV and ESPN. Guys, you wasted 2 weeks of our lives. We're hostages of this. People pay $80. I don't have YouTube TV, but I just want to tell you, everyone was not happy. So next time, let's pretend we wasted 2 weeks and just do a deal right away. That's what we should do. Just like pretend and then say, oh, we wasted everyone's 2 weeks, but not wasted 2 weeks, and then just do a deal because nobody wants to go through this. Nobody wants to. Well, apparently a lot of people want to read these stories because they were very interested in the stories that I wrote for The Athletic, but we don't want to talk about it. We want to just watch the games. We want your service. You have a great interface, YouTube TV, ESPN. You got the most games that of anybody. We just want to watch, and so we don't need that. So next time, don't do it. All right. That's my what's down, YouTube TV, ESPN.
All right, agreed, 100%. My what's down, Drew Brees, Fox Sports, in the booth with Adam Amin, New York Giants. You know, I watched a good amount of this game, especially in the first half, and I just felt like, Andrew, it was choppy. He was just searching. Replays were an issue. There was some silence at times. Amin did his best to bring it out in Brees, and I think Amin did a really good job because he probably felt a little uncomfortable. New partner, high pressure, probably a lot of people watching, even though it was a dog game. He just sounded unsure and kind of Brady-esque when Brady started. And I think Brees has potential. I don't doubt his football knowledge. I'm sure he can figure it out. He just needs a little bit more work. And I don't know why they keep throwing him in some tough situations. You know, throw him on a college game. Throw him on 3 college games. Throw him on 4 college games. If you want him to succeed, to me, you got to give him a little bit more swings in the cage. I'm sure he'll be all right down the road, but this is a little choppy.
Yeah, we'll get into it in the questions. I think he's doing a third game, and that's for a guy like Drew Brees. That's not necessarily high profile. So I don't know if I totally agree with that part of it. I did watch some of it. I was, we're here in Cleveland, but did have it on and put my earphones in to give it, and that was some impressions I got. I also got some feedback from some Clicker contributors as well, who had similar feedback to what you said. We're a twice a week podcast. To listen to the whole podcast, AndrewMarchand.com. Frank Isola is the main event on Thursday. Probably come out a little bit early. Frank Isola, ESPN, Sirius XM, Yes Network. Fun one, great stories with Frank. Again, AndrewMarchand.com to subscribe.
All right, looking forward to that as always. The